Welcome to Magical Memories Unlocked, your guide to events that truly rock. From tips on planning and entertainment to will help you make your dream event come true. Now without delay, let's dive into your guide to event success today.
Welcome back to Magical Memories Unlocked, your guide to event success. I am so pumped for today's deep dive. We're going to be talking all about science shows. You know, when we were initially brainstorming for this deep dive, I was really struck by how many different types of events benefit from having a really dynamic science show.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about everything from birthday parties to community fairs and even corporate events. I mean, the sky's the limit.
It really is. I think the reason why science shows are so versatile is that they have this really unique blend of education and entertainment, what we like to call edutainment.
Oh, absolutely. And it's a really fantastic way to get people of all ages learning and engaged and excited about science. They add this layer of wow factor that you just don't get with a standard DJ or a bouncy house.
Yeah, and another thing that I think is so cool about science shows is the just wide variety of experiments that can be incorporated. I mean, have you ever seen elephant toothpaste?
Elephant toothpaste, oh, it's a classic. It's just visually spectacular. It's like this giant eruption of foam seemingly out of nowhere.
Right.
But there's more to it than that, right?
Right. It's a really great visual representation of chemical reactions and the role of catalysts in speeding them up.
Okay, so this next one is a personal favorite of mine, dry ice experiments. There's something so mysterious and captivating about that fog cascading over the edge of a container. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know exactly what you mean. And it's all thanks to a process called sublimation. So basically, the dry ice skips the liquid state completely and goes straight from solid to gas.
Oh, wow. So it's like magic, but it's science.
Exactly. It's like magic, but it's science.
We've had so many parents tell us, you know, my kid hasn't stopped talking about the science show for days. And those are the kinds of reactions that really make it all worthwhile.
It's about fostering a love of learning and a sense of wonder about the world around us. And that's what makes science shows so special, you know?
Now, let's say you're listening to this and you're intrigued by the possibilities of having a science show at your next event. What are some key questions you should be asking potential providers?
Content and customization are crucial. Does the provider offer shows that align with your event's theme and audience age? Can they tailor the content to your specific needs?
Yeah, you don't want a generic presentation that feels out of place. Like if I'm hosting a corporate event focused on sustainability, I wouldn't want a show all about rocket launches. Now, while we're talking about important considerations, safety should always be top of mind. Well,
Oh, absolutely. Don't hesitate to ask about safety precautions, like, are the experiments appropriate for the location? What precautions are in place to protect the audience and the performers?
safety first. Absolutely.
Yeah. And it's definitely worth asking about the level of interactivity in the show. Are guests able to participate in the experiments? Are there any hands-on activities?
Speaking of getting hands-on, what are some of those popular experiments that really get guests excited and wanting to participate?
Well, aside from the ones that we've already talked about, slime making is always a huge hit. It's a really fun and engaging way to introduce scientific concepts like polymers and non-Newtonian fluids.
It's so gooey and fun and messy.
Exactly. And who can resist a good old-fashioned rocket launch?
It's a fantastic way to demonstrate basic physics principles in action.
Yeah, and another experiment we love to incorporate is anything involving optical illusions.
Oh, those are so fun.
They're a really great way to show how our brains perceive the world around us.
It's like a mind-bending experience that reveals how easily we can be tricked by our own senses. It's really about finding that sweet spot where the spectacular meets the educational.
I think you're right.
Which brings us back to this idea of edutainment. What does it actually mean? And why is it so effective? What do you think?
Well, I think it's more than just learning while being entertained. It's about creating an experience where the two become inseparable. You're so caught up in the moment, in the wonder of it all, that the learning happens almost effortlessly.
I like that. It's like sneaking vegetables into a delicious smoothie. You get all the good stuff without even realizing it.
Exactly.
Okay. Science shows, I think, are just incredible for creating these really memorable learning experiences. You know, when you engage multiple senses, sight, sound, touch, those scientific concepts become so much more than facts on a page.
Right. It's that hands-on immersive element that makes all the difference. You're not just telling someone about science, you're letting them experience it firsthand.
Yeah. You're really bringing science to life, and that active engagement is key for, whether you're a kid or an adult.
Yeah.
It sparks that curiosity and that sense of wonder that, we often lose touch with as we get older.
Yeah, and another aspect I think is really cool about science shows is that it fosters a sense of community.
Oh, absolutely.
They create this common ground for people of all ages and backgrounds to, connect and learn together.
Everyone's on the same wavelength, united by this shared sense of awe and discovery. You really don't get that with just any form of entertainment.
Exactly. I'm thinking about like a corporate family day,
Yeah.
where a science show could bring together employees and their families, everyone through this one shared experience. It's really special. It breaks down barriers and it builds camaraderie. Science shows have a way of demystifying science, making it accessible and relatable and fun for everybody.
It makes science a lot less intimidating. And it,
Yeah.
takes away that intimidation factor that I think a lot of people have when it comes to science. And, let's talk a little bit more about edutainment. We've touched on it earlier in the episode, but, how do science shows really manage to blend that education and entertainment so seamlessly?
Yeah, one of the key elements is definitely the use of spectacular visuals. I mean, think about those experiments that we were just talking about, like elephant toothpaste or a fire tornado. It's like a feast for the senses.
Yeah, it's very engaging and exciting. And, the interactive element, that adds a whole other layer.
Mhm.
When you can get the audience involved, whether it's helping to create slime or assisting with a demonstration, it makes them active participants in that learning process.
Exactly. And that hands-on approach is so powerful because it takes those abstract concepts and makes them tangible and real for people.
It's not just about the entertainment. It's about planting those seeds of curiosity and inspiration in young minds.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we've talked about why science shows are so effective, why they're so engaging. But I want to hear some stories, like real-world examples of how these shows come to life.
Oh, yeah. Magical Memories has some incredible stories about the impact their science shows have had.
Okay, tell me everything.
All right, how about this? We once did a show at a birthday party, and the kids were so excited about making slime that they practically begged to stay longer.
Slime. It's a classic for a reason. I remember making slime as a kid. It's just so satisfying.
Right. And it's not just fun, it's also a great way to introduce kids to basic chemistry concepts like polymers and viscosity.
So it's like sneaky learning disguised as messy fun. I love it.
Exactly. And what's even better is that the learning often extends beyond the event itself. We've had parents tell us that their kids, after seeing one of our science shows, they become more curious about the world around them. They start asking questions about how things work, wanting to do their own experiments at home.
That's amazing. That's like the ultimate goal, right? To spark that lifelong love of learning.
Absolutely. It's about planting that seed of curiosity.
I remember reading a story about a library event where Magical Memories launched a rocket made from a soda bottle.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one. The crowd went wild, and during the Q&A afterward, even the adults were like peppering the scientists with questions, eager to learn more.
It's like proof that you're never too old to be fascinated by science.
Yeah, I'm thinking about like a school assembly that we did where even the teachers were just as captivated as the kids.
It's true, it really transcends age.
It really does. It's about tapping back into that childlike sense of wonder that we all have inside us.
And we also had a really, really special experience at a corporate family day where we actually tied the science show into the company's own innovations.
Oh, wow.
And it really sparked these amazing conversations between employees and their families,
Yeah.
about the real-world applications of science.
Yeah, I love that.
And it's remarkable how science shows can create those really unique bonding experiences. It gives everyone that common ground to connect and share ideas and learn together.
It's true.
Now, before we move on, I did want to touch on the different types of science experiences we offer here at Magical Memories Entertainment. So
Okay.
in addition to our, classic 40-minute science shows, we also have interactive science stations, which are great for, guests to kind of explore things at their own pace.
Oh, nice. And we also offer science workshops, which are perfect for, those who want to go a little bit deeper into some specific scientific concepts and, get a little bit more hands-on with, more in-depth experiments.
And, we really pride ourselves on customizing these experiences to fit the unique needs of each event.
Yeah.
So we can tailor the theme, experiments, and even the storyline to really align with whatever your vision is.
Yeah, we truly believe in creating those unforgettable experiences that leave a lasting impact.
Absolutely. So, if you're looking for a way to add a little bit of magic and wonder to your next event, we encourage you to really explore the possibilities of a science show.
Yeah, and in this last part, I'm excited to answer some of those really common questions that you might have when you're considering booking a science show for your next event.
Absolutely. And, let's talk about something that's always top of mind, I think, when anyone's planning any event. What kind of investment are we looking at here for a science show?
Well, it can vary quite a bit depending on several different factors,
Hmm.
like the experience of the performer, the length of the show, how complex the experiments are, even travel expenses sometimes.
Right.
So I think the best approach is to reach out to, maybe a few different companies, get some quotes, and just get a sense of what the going rate is in your area.
Shop around a little bit. And
Right.
then once you have, a general budget in mind, then you can think about the duration of the show.
Yeah.
How long are these science shows?
Most science shows are designed to be around 40 minutes long,
Okay.
which I think is a really good balance of entertainment and education.
Right.
You don't want to overwhelm the audience with too much information.
Yeah, 40 minutes seems like a sweet spot.
Exactly.
Okay, so you've got your budget in mind,
Yeah.
the time frame. What about the practical aspects like space requirements? Do you need a full-blown laboratory to host a science show?
Not at all. Most science show performers are incredibly adaptable when it comes to the venue.
Okay.
As long as you communicate, with the performer and tell them about the space that you have available, they'll be able to make it work.
Yeah.
They just need enough room to set up their equipment safely and conduct the experiments.
Makes sense.
Good lighting is always a plus.
Oh, of course.
Right.
Especially for those visual demonstrations.
Yeah, but there's definitely no need for a fancy lab or anything like that.
Communication is key, as always.
Absolutely.
So let's talk safety when we're talking about science experiments. Safety, of course, is paramount. How can you ensure the well-being of your guests during a science show?
Well, safety should always be, the top priority for any reputable science show company,
Of course.
and they should have very clear safety protocols in place.
Yeah, like what kind of things?
Things like using personal protective equipment, so like goggles and gloves, and also procedures for handling any materials that might be considered hazardous.
Right.
I think it's always wise to ask about, their safety measures and how they would handle, any unexpected situations.
Yeah, you can never be too careful.
Right. It's better to be safe than sorry.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's circle back to that concept of edutainment that we've been talking about throughout this episode. How can someone ensure that, the show is not just entertaining, but it's also actually educational?
That's a great question. I think the key is finding a performer who really strikes that perfect balance between entertainment and education.
Yeah.
Look for someone who can, take these complex scientific concepts and break them down in a way that's engaging and understandable.
Right.
For your audience, don't be afraid to ask about their background, their experience in science education or communication.
That makes a lot of sense. And it's also, I think, really helpful to communicate any, specific learning objectives you might have for your event. Like,
Yeah.
are there any particular themes that you want to focus on, the specific scientific concepts you'd like the performer to kind of, dive into a little bit more?
For sure. The more open communication there is about your expectations, I think the better, because then the science show can really hit the mark on, both the entertainment and educational fronts.
That's a great point. And speaking of hitting the mark, we're really passionate about customization here at Magical Memories Entertainment. So
Yeah.
can you tell me a little bit more about, how science shows can really be tailored to fit those specific events?
Yeah, I mean, we really believe in crafting these unique and memorable experiences that truly align with your vision.
Yeah.
We offer a wide range of customization options for our science shows, so we can tailor the theme, the experiments, even the storyline to fit your event's message or branding.
I love that. So like, for example, for a corporate family day, we can maybe create a show that highlights the company's innovations and really shows, those real world applications of science and technology.
Yeah, exactly. Or for a birthday party,
Yeah.
we can design a show that revolves around the birthday child's favorite science topic,
Right.
like dinosaurs or space exploration or something like that.
So many possibilities.
Yeah, we're always so excited to collaborate with our clients and really bring their ideas to life.
It's about making it special and unique to that event.
Absolutely. So yeah, don't be shy about sharing your vision with us and, let your imagination run wild.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of science shows, I think the key takeaway is that they're really more than just a form of entertainment.
Right.
It's a chance to ignite that curiosity, to inspire that love of learning, and really create lasting memories for your guests. And I think that's what Magical Memories Entertainment is all about.
Yeah, by choosing a really reputable science show provider that prioritizes safety, engagement, and customization, you're really investing in an experience that'll have your guests talking about it long after the event is over.
Absolutely. And on that note, we want to thank you so much for joining us on this journey into, the fascinating world of science shows.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
We hope this deep dive has left you feeling informed and inspired. And just remember, the world of science is brimming with wonder and possibility.
It really is.
So embrace your inner scientist, stay curious, and join us next time as we unlock more magical memories together.
Thanks for listening to Magical Memories Unlocked. This guide to event success is so helpful, some are shocked. Planning something big, we're here for you, with ideas and tips to make your vision come true. Magical Memories Edutainment is the team to make all your guests